WandaVision just came out, and I want to give my thoughts on what's going on with it because I feel this show exposes both the state of the entertainment industry and the mentality of both journalists and viewers. So without wasting any more time, let's just jump straight into it. There are two major questions that I'll try to answer in this video. First, is this show good? Secondly, what is with the polarized reactions from people? When this show was first announced, I didn't even know what to make of it. I had zero expectations of it, and I only started watching it because, well, I wanted answers, damn it, and no one was able to give me a good explanation of what the show even is. So I donned my detective hat and dived in.
I needed a new case. Bad.
Not knowing what to expect other than the main characters being Wanda and Vision from the MCU. And oh boy was I not expecting what I got. Yeah, they're the same main characters alright, portrayed by the same actors, Elizabeth Olsen and Paul Bettany, and that's about it with the similarities between this show and the MCU. Everything else is complete cuckoo bananas. The action takes place in the 50s, 60s sitcom format, and it feels like some sort of mixture between Bewitched, Alfred Hitchcock Presents, and The Twilight Zone, complete with the appropriate black and white image and even having a similar runtime of around 20 minutes. First, the show feels really wholesome and innocent, at least for the first two episodes, avoiding any topics of race, gender, or politics, which personally I can't be more thankful for. It felt like a breath of fresh air, especially with recent events, and I hope they keep this attitude for the rest of the show, even if, spoilers, they'll change the time period and look of the show. So yeah, the show is lighthearted and altogether sweet, but the overarching story has a dark side, probably got it from Hitchcock and the Twilight Zone part of the family. Because as you would expect, it's not normal for Wanda and Vision to be in this place. We are meant to believe they are stuck in this universe for whatever reason. If you've ever played Fallout 3, this feels exactly like how the Tranquility Lane quest went. So, lovable characters, Paul Bettany and especially Elizabeth Olsen really pull it off, combined with lighthearted humor and quick and witty lines, all set on a background of a mystery similar to what you would expect from a Twilight Zone episode. What's not to like? Well, it's a nitpick, but I'm not a fan of the short runtime combined with like 10 minutes of credits. But I also understand that 20 minutes fits better with this setup. If you made an episode 40-50 minutes long, you would run out of jokes and the story would feel bloated. Finally, Hollywood knew what they were doing and went with the 20 minutes mark. Now, I understand, I might actually be the target audience for this show, seeing as I'm into old movies and shows and I somewhat have a background with them. So is there anything, objectively speaking, that would put off a casual viewer? Well, yeah, if you don't like old slow shows that build up suspense, then you probably won't like this either, especially if you expect an action-packed superhero show. That is not at all what this show is. In fact, I would call it a pretty intellectual show. No disrespect to the MCU crowd, I'm one of you, but what I mean by that is that for Hollywood to attempt this in this fashion is intellectual. The show requiring patience from the viewer in order to be appreciated. So to answer my first question, is this show good? Well, yeah, I believe so, and I would highly recommend it if you fit in my category. If not, well, maybe still give it a shot now that you know what to expect. You might actually find it charming and relaxing. Just don't expect action scenes or anything of the sort. So if it's so sweet and so innocent with a good cast and a good mystery, why are people so polarized by it? A lot of journalists aren't impressed by it and people are jumping on the bandwagon. Or are the journalists jumping on the people's bandwagon? Either way, I smell something fishy here and I've got a theory. You see, modern journalists are pretty basic. Whereas most matter can exist in 4 states, modern journalists can only exist in 2. The first one being critical of already established IPs and their fans by accusing them of all the isms in the world and attacking them in any way, shape or form. And the second is that of defenders of progressive agendas in the face of fans and already established lore, by accusing them of all the isms in the world and attacking them in any way, shape or form. So when they are presented with something that doesn't offend anybody, they don't know what to do with themselves. They can't be positive about it, they can't be seen praising the omission of any racial, sexual or political topics, because those subjects are what keeps them in business, the business being that of creating outrage. And they can't criticize a show for being too wholesome or risk showing off their true colors. So they're basically running around in circles like chickens with their heads cut off. In turn, this also confuses the audience. It's rare to have a show where the audience isn't being told how to feel about something. In all honesty, I would enjoy the madness if I didn't know that this sort of reaction can hurt a good show. All in all, I feel like the reaction was engineered, maybe subconsciously, by a population whose brains have been on the cooker for the past year, not knowing what to do with this in times like these. Anyways, these are my thoughts on this show. I like it. I like its creativity, and I hope they don't ruin it in future episodes. Only time will tell. Thank you for watching. As always, please consider subscribing, and have a nice day.